right. Hey, it's Eric Blank here from Eric Blank Injury Attorneys. We're here streaming live to answer any of your legal questions and also talk about some of the legal things going on in the news. We've got the honey lawsuit we're going to talk about. A couple other things that HK over here has cooked up for us to talk about. And we're going to, make a weekly conversation with you guys so you can talk to us about anything that's come up for you. We comment on what things are out there, what is really going on. A lot of people say, let's sue them. Let's do this. We're going to get underneath and tell you what's maybe true, what's not true, and just give, again, this is not legal, it's legal opinion, not so much legal advice, and there's no attorney-client relationship here, but let's just get going and see what we have here. So the first one we have up here is dealing with the people suing honey. As you may know, honey has been considered a scam. I don't know if you know what honey is, but we're going to give you a video here, give you a little background on that, and I will comment along the way on that. So without any further ado, let me put on these headphones so I can hear just as well as you. And here we go.
The biggest scam in YouTube history.
Let me pause there. I didn't get any volume here, so on here I didn't get any.
The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed.
Honey, one of the largest influencer scams.
This might just be the biggest
Technical difficulties.
influencer scam of all time.
Honey has been revealed to be a complete scam.
The coupon mafia?
I think it's scummy as hell. I hesitate to call it illegal because I just genuinely don't know. I need a legal video.
And I think Honey should be sued for it. I am glad that everybody is now aware.
I will start over again, so sorry if you get
The biggest scam in YouTube history. The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed.
Honey, one of the largest influencer scams.
This might just be the biggest influencer scam of all time.
Honey has been revealed to be a complete scam.
The coupon mafia?
I think it's scummy as hell. I hesitate to call it illegal because I just genuinely don't know. I need a legal video.
And I think Honey should be sued for it. I am glad that everybody is now aware that Honey has a corrupt business model.
Creators are saying that Honey is a scam. They believe that Honey steals from creators. So on behalf of creators everywhere, I have filed a class action lawsuit to stop it. So how did we get here? Well, as you probably know, the entire creator economy works on affiliate links. The question that everyone on the internet wants to know when you're making a purchase is, how did you get here? Honey.
Let me just take a brief stop there. We do have to give thanks here to the Legal Eagle for the video that we are viewing here today. And we are going to be talking about Honey. Honey, as you're hearing, works in the creator space using affiliate links to get people to obviously go to their site. And they're supposed to be paying these affiliates commissions based on what they've sold under their link. Apparently, they did not. Let's learn a little more.
Allegedly interjects itself into that chain, erases all the past history and says, I'm the one responsible, often harming consumers in the process by replacing a coupon or discount code with a Honey-related code.
Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
And while if this is true, the consumers would be harmed by this practice, creators are getting absolutely screwed.
Let's say
So as you're getting this sense here, you might have heard some of these things. It sort of has a feel, if I may say, kind of like a multi-level marketing, right? Like, hey, come to here. There once was a janitor that now owns 7 houses across the world. But so anyway, the Honey affiliate link, as we're going to learn more about, it's just a coupon, online coupon that using that code took you to a Honey source. So in that way, Honey will get credit, and from that, you as an affiliate would be getting credit as well, and therefore commissions.
You're at a department store looking to buy a new TV. A salesman spends time running you through your options. You decide to buy, he gives you his referral card, you get to the checkout, and right as you're about to pay, a sleazy salesman pops up going, "Hey, shall I check if I have any coupon codes for you?" Naturally, you say sure. He snatches your referral card without you ever noticing, looks for coupons, says sorry, no luck this time, but instead of handing back the original referral card, he hands back his own.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty crappy. So as you're getting the sense there, what the honey is it tries to inject itself in the way of commerce there, trying to allegedly tell people that, hey, we're going to give you a coupon code. There's not one there. They still inject themselves as taking credit for the sale when they had nothing to do with the sale. So let's learn a little more.
It's free money, they say. But we believe that nothing could be further from the truth. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as a free lunch. We believe that money came right out of the pockets of your favorite YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, podcasts, and bloggers. Now, you might have seen Megalag's expose. It's incredible. You should absolutely support him on Patreon, link in the description. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I want to dig deeper because this is something that could affect every creator and influencer on every platform.
I kind of stopped him at a bad point there. But so as we're starting to see here, what they've done, this honey, or what they're alleged to have done, is to take creators who actually make their money from these links by giving you content and then getting money back, and have put themselves in the way of that and said, okay, we're going to take credit for this all now, wiping out, a large sector or a large part of the income of the creator community. So let's learn more.
And I mean everyone. Creators, viewers, advertisers, even the companies that provide goods and services. Now, as you probably know, making videos or posts can be an expensive endeavor. And when you think about it, it's kind of incredible that platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok are free. And they can afford to be so because they rely on advertising. Now, that might come in the form of programmatic ads that are interjected while you're watching, or it might come from a sponsorship provided by the actual creator that you're watching or listening to. And if a creator runs a sponsorship or has an affiliate relationship, they'll probably tell you to do one of two things. Either click on the link in the description or the comments, or use their promo code. You, the audience member, probably get a nice discount, and the creator gets credit for sending that customer. This is attribution, as we call it in the biz. And if you end up buying that thing, the creator might get a percentage, a commission, a flat fee, or if enough people sign up, they might get another sponsorship in the future. And in all of those cases, everything depends on knowing how many people signed up because of that creator. And when you click on that link or use the creator's promo code, the brand knows where you came from and who sent you. At least, that's the way that it's supposed to work.
There we go. So what we're seeing here, essentially, the creators are a commercial for any of these sponsors, any of these products there. So they're essentially they're lending their credibility, lending their following, really more than anything, to these products. These products want to tap into these people, so these people get on and say, hey, use this product, and by so doing, what the individuals are getting, what the individual is supposed to be getting is some kind of commission for that. Now, the one thing, I don't know if you know this, HK, so let me ask you, do the people who are going on there to learn this, the creators that are doing this, are they notifying that they do? Are they notifying their public that, hey, I do get a commission from this?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's a sponsorship. So they always say this is ad time or this is an ad. Mm-hmm. And depending on the platform, there are rules where it says paid sponsorship or whatever. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I would say like 99% of the time, yes, the creators are disclosing that it is a sponsorship.
Okay. That's a big issue. Made me think of something, but I want to see a little more of this video before I...
That not disclosing thing was a big issue. And then I remember Fire Festival actually blew that up because several influencers admitted after the fact that it was a paid sponsorship and they had nothing to do with it. And then that's what kind of drove the issue. And now, for the most part, it's pretty obvious that it's a sponsorship.
Okay.
Honey allegedly built their business on breaking that chain. As Megalag and others have explained, and as we aver, Honey interjects itself at the last possible moment and erases evidence of the real person who was responsible and takes credit. It looks like Honey opens up a new tab or refreshes the checkout page and replaces the creator's information with Honey's information, and most importantly, Honey's attribution codes. The creator gets nothing. We believe that Honey pockets that money that would have otherwise gone to the creator.
Wow. All right, that's pretty ugly. That's pretty ugly. I know they've made a lot of money, and apparently that wasn't enough, and they have to suck up all the money out there. So that's all right. From what I'm hearing so far, it's pretty shady. I don't know how worse than that, but they're riding the backs of people who created the content to give them a basis, and then they just stick themselves in. I mean, this is really doing they're adding nothing at this point to any economy there. They are putting themselves in on a sale that was already made and then just taking credit for it. So I have no respect for that. But let's see what's going on.
Imagine if you're listening to a podcast. You actually can't really click on a link. So the only way that they can get attribution is by a listener using their promo code. But we believe that even if you use the creator's code, if you also used Honey at the same time, Honey likely replaced that promo code with their own. But it's not just sponsorships. When you click on a programmatic ad, those skippable or unskippable ads that just get shoved into a video you're watching or interjected to the feed that you're scrolling through, well, those have tracking links too. Those often contain exactly the same kind of affiliate data. Again, the companies want to know where you came from. They want to know which ads are effective and which creator's audience is a good fit for them. Different creators receive a different amount of money per view depending on their personality and the makeup of their audience. But once again, if you click on one of those ads and use an extension like Honey, Honey will allegedly come in at the last second and destroy attribution, taking credit and pocketing the money. And
wow. Yeah, there's nothing good about this. I mean, I'm sounding a little bit broken record, but this is horrible that they would actually build a business on this. I mean, if these allegations are accurate, then they deserve to get shut down. They deserve to get all their money taken from them. But I think you were telling me, right, this is under PayPal, right? PayPal acquired?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Let me double check.
Yeah, no, it says right here. Hold on. It's not waste time money. PayPal Honey helps you find, so...
Yeah, so PayPal, yeah, it is a subsidiary of PayPal.
Okay, let's hear a little bit more. This is awful.
And at the same time, Honey appears to market itself as a way to save consumers additional money, but that doesn't appear to be the case. We believe that Honey unjustly enriches itself by swapping creator attribution under the guise of a coupon check, even when it's unable to provide any additional value to the consumer or when there are no coupons.
So the term unjust enrichment, you might hear that. We hear that a fair amount in law. What you're claiming as a plaintiff against the defendant, you're saying the defendant took some kind of action and enriched himself, gained when it had no right to gain, which apparently, based on what is being presented so far, is exactly what Honey did here.
I believe that Honey lied to consumers about what it offered. And I believe that Honey lied to creators about what it was doing. And perhaps the worst part about all of this is that Honey, now owned by PayPal, allegedly made creators the unwitting accomplices in stealing from their own pocketbooks. Think about how insidious this all was. Honey spent tens of millions of dollars, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars, sponsoring some of the most beloved and successful creators on the planet. Honey allegedly seeded those audiences with their extension. And that extension probably stayed on their audience's browsers like a sleeping leech, waiting for the viewer to conduct a transaction. And thus, forever after, the creator's future sponsorships and future affiliate relationships and advertisements were devalued now that the creator's audience was infected. The exact people who would be most likely to listen to the recommendations of that creator, which, by the way, is the reason that it's so important for creators to vet their sponsors and make sure that they believe in the products, were now likely to be sniped.
I'm glad he brought that up. I was thinking that. I was wondering if he was going to get to that. I was going to bring that up, the culpability of the creators themselves. I mean, what steps did they take? If you think back to, what was that crypto site that a lot of the
LGT or MT.
No, FT. You remember they spent a lot of money at 201s, and then
what's his name?
Tom Brady was on.
Bankman-Fried's company, FTX.
Yeah, FTX. So a lot of, I'm not exactly sure what came of that, but I know they were getting a lot of scrutiny and potentially getting sued. A number of the celebrity endorsers, because they were saying, "Hey, you took money to promote this fraud, and therefore you should be culpable in your actions in perpetuating this fraud. And I was wondering, I don't know if I'm waiting to see how it comes out of this, if any of these creators, while it's a little different because I guess it's more of affiliate, they didn't necessarily get paid. I didn't hear that they got paid directly. They would only get if someone used their link, right? So,
my impression is that some people will pay a lump sum or a fixed amount to sign on, and then anything extra on top of that.
See, I would wonder about those people. I think they might have some issue because they are now perpetuating fraud, and they still have a duty. They can't say, well, we didn't realize it. I mean, I guess if they did a great job of covering it up, but you do have a duty to have some due diligence. You can't just take some money. You can, but you do have some potential consequence on the backside of that. So I was wondering that. So he's kind of getting to that a little bit here regarding the culpability of any of these creators who took money. The ones who had their money stolen from them, it's maybe a little different, but I think the ones who got the money directly could have some issue.
Whenever those viewers or listeners clicked on the creator's link or used the creator's promo code, Honey would allegedly swoop in and steal the attribution. We believe that PayPal's Honey is a drag on the entire creator economy. If you're a creator and you've ever used an affiliate link, run a sponsorship, or allowed ads, we believe it's possible that Honey has interjected itself and parasitically taken away your attribution. Even if you've never even heard of Honey until now. Advertisers spent $30 billion on advertising on YouTube AdSense alone in 2023. Presumably, those companies made a lot more revenue than they spent on advertising. But how many billions of that went to Honey? I'm honestly surprised that extensions like Honey, Karma, Capital One Shopping, and Pi are even allowed on the Apple App Store or the Google Extension Marketplace. So I say, enough is enough. It's time to put my money where my mouth is.
Okay, so as we're seeing here, yeah, this is a lot of us have seen these coupon sites. I personally haven't used them. I don't know about you. You probably don't.
I use Honey.
Really?
A lot.
Interesting.
Well, the beauty of Honey is that it actually searches for coupons, so you don't have to go to a separate site or anything like that. It's an extension of your browser.
Sure.
It's super convenient. Like on the consumer end, so like on my end, not the creator end, but on the consumer end, it's a great product.
Have you ever? I'm sorry. Have you ever compared that if you just searched on your own versus what Honey's telling you, if it's equal or Honey's doing better or you've done better on your own?
It's about equal. And honestly, like because I search for coupon codes like whenever I buy something.
Yeah.
It's just super convenient. It's a great app. It really is.
Yeah.
The problem is they're ripping off, people that are they're supposed to be paying.
Yeah, it's so great.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's fair. It's so great that they're taking money from everybody.
Well, the product itself is fantastic. I mean, who doesn't want a little extension on your browser that'll automatically search for coupons?
Well, I was wondering because the way they created this at the beginning, it seemed like the way they set the initial example up that you could read that to be like, hey, they actually never have actual coupons. They're putting it out there, but like if you saw that sales guy at the beginning, like he had to look, I don't have any coupons here, but they've now got you in their tentacles, and they're going to use you.
Oh yeah, they will take your data. Absolutely, they're taking your data to pretty much find out what your habits are, what your buying habits are, your consumer experience, all that stuff. That's kind of obvious. I have no problem with that, honestly. We live in the 21st century.
Assuming.
If I buy something at Walmart, they do the same thing. If I put my phone number into at Smith's or at Albertsons for discounts, they do the exact same thing. It's just the nature of the beast. So I'm not upset about that. The thing that gets me about this case is how blatantly or allegedly blatantly they're doing this because it doesn't make sense. They're too big. They shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, and I don't think they're ever going to recover on a public relations standpoint on this.
I mean, probably not. Although people have short memories at times. But
that's true.
I was the way he presented it. So I get a little different picture from what you're telling me now, because I got this to be the sense that they promote themselves as a coupon company, but they really never have any. But now you're in their funnel. As opposed, but from what you're saying, you actually do have usable coupons, but they still are being shady because they are taking credit even when someone else should be getting that credit.
Exactly, and they're not 100% on anything, right?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of coupon codes that Honey doesn't know about that that I get from being a subscriber on their email list or whatever, right?
Okay.
And something I'm gonna say most of the time, because some of these sites are really obscure that I want to buy something from.
Yeah.
It might not have a coupon.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. That happens. But data gathering, it's to be expected at this point. I'd be surprised if they didn't do it. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think anybody not expecting their data unless you're on Google Incognito privacy, right? Which we are part of.
Yeah.
Pursuing them, but
I mean, unless there's like something explicit or implied that it's private, then I expect my data to be sold.
Fair enough. All right, check it out.
I, along with some other great attorneys, filed suit on behalf of all creators and businesses who have been harmed by Honey PayPal. Because there are so many people, we filed a class action lawsuit seeking damages in the form of the money that we believe Honey prevented from reaching creators, so we can give it back to creators. And equally important, we're suing for an injunction to stop Honey's practices in the future. If you're a creator or a business who thinks that they have been harmed by Honey, please reach out to my law firm by either going to Honey Law.
All right, so they've created a class action here. Interesting. We'll have to be certified as a class, but it sounds like, I didn't get this from here, but you've told me before it's thousands of people in impact.
Probably
right?
more, yeah, at least like hundreds, if not thousands.
Okay, well,
tons of creators. Honey sponsors a lot of people.
Yeah, as I'm learning here,
or they used
to. Yeah, I wonder if people would take that now. Now, do you know this? Is Honey? If I went there now, is Honey currently operating?
Yes.
Okay.
So they didn't shut down or anything.
Not quite like FTX type deal?
No. That was, different scenario. And Honey's product isn't at the whims of the crypto market or any market, really. They're a coupon site.
Well, this is all under the PayPal. I mean, if his caption, I haven't gone to look it up, but he showed his caption there. The caption's true. They're showing just PayPal. That's it. They're not.
Well, PayPal owns Honey.
No, I got you. But I'm saying there's not like... Sometimes you'll have you'll have the corporate name, you might have a subsidiary or some other also known as. It just said PayPal Inc. So there's
Could be because Honey is wholly owned by PayPal.
Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but I think they would know well enough that they're not just going to close the door. So clearly, they've done enough of the research. Hopefully, that they know that PayPal is 100% owns Honey 100%. So, all right. Well, I got the idea of this one. It's pretty horrible. I would, it's a shame here because people are, the people that put themselves out there. People build up a following. It's not kind of like, hey, bring two of your friends in and sell them like multi-level marketing and buy this vitamin product and then. And recruit more people. So I don't get it. Just more greed for I don't know why. I mean, I understand greed, but enough's enough. The Honey still would be making money in all those sales, just not all the money. But I guess that wasn't good enough for them. You'd mentioned there's some other comments on here about that, or just the video as a whole, or that?
There's a ton of comments if you go down to the comment section on this.
On here or on the Reddit?
On the YouTube. There's actually a ton of really good ones there.
All right. Just start from the top.
Yeah, just start, go down, go on, and then whatever catches your eye.
Okay. Whoa, well, this is an interesting point. I don't know about this, but I'm not sure if it's exactly the same thing. You'll probably dig this up on your own, but Honey's actions in this case might count as cookie stuffing, which is considered a form of wire fraud. Interesting angle. I was wondering if there's a criminal element in this.
I was actually about to ask you about the wire fraud aspect of it, because technically speaking, it is wire fraud, right?
Well, you tell me, lay out your argument. How do you think?
Because it's done over a communications channel. Fraud via communications channel. Technically speaking, and I'm talking on the most technical, like, semantics of it.
Right.
Isn't that wire fraud by definition?
So the fraud is on the on the affiliates, not the consumer, right?
Yes.
I mean, if I have that correct,
yes.
Right? So
because it's the affiliates that are being defrauded or allegedly defrauded.
Right. The affiliates are being. Yeah. I mean, you could argue that. I mean, they did say you could call it conversion, right? Conversion being they took an asset that's not theirs and converted it to their own. So there's a potential conversion angle. Yeah, I'm interested to see if, you've looked into more of this, who's actually doing the investigating on this besides, some of the top internet
There's
people.
another video. The reason why I didn't pull it up is because it's like over an hour long.
Yeah, it's long.
But that's what actually blew it open. Is a YouTube video.
I wonder if like a Department of Justice would step into something like this, or even the FBI.
I think that they should, but I don't think they will.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because to me, this is a criminal case.
It sounds like it's heading that way. I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, and it's it's quick to say that, but
and I know that the laws.
Well, now here's an interesting one, which they kind of said. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a couple comments here. This guy says, makes me think of all the content creators who had entire sponsors pull out because they were under the impression that content creator was not making them any money due to Honey.
That could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people are like, wait, you're not getting any.
Yeah, you're not getting any hits.
Yeah. You're not getting any. Look at your affiliate numbers here. You maybe are getting hits, but you're not driving people to sales. So why would I?
Nobody's buying anything.
Yeah, why would I affiliate with you? Because, or why would I sponsor you? Because you have an audience, but you're not driving the audience to.
Yeah, and that will tweak your stats to the point where like it looks like you're not effective. Interesting. That's interesting. It'd be hard to prove, but I can see a case going forward with that. Just on that.
I mean, you have to make it worthwhile. I mean, if someone either have to have a lot of people like he's talking about.
You would have to be a big,
or you'd have to have a big
following.
Yeah, you have to
like
have
Moist Critical or something like that that has millions of subscribers.
Yeah, if someone like that, and they're like, hey, I'm not getting, or sponsors have pulled out because of it doesn't seem like I'm getting money here, or people couldn't, so they're saying loss of future.
But that's assuming that the other sponsors could see the stats. They somehow have access to the stats.
Or they could ask you to provide that. Hey, we're interested in getting on. Show us your numbers from here. Yeah. Okay.
That could, I can see that going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Here's someone. I'll add another anecdote to the pile. I've straight up had sponsors suggest that they weren't seeing click-throughs or conversions when deciding not to renew for additional spots. In more than one of those cases, I've had viewers, friends, or family that had absolutely purchased from the brands in question. They sent pictures or wore them in person, making the brands more than enough money on top of viewership alone to make me a good deal and an easy renewal. So there you go. They're saying right there, hey, I had people that I know.
Now, are they accusing Honey directly, or is it somebody else? Because they're just saying sponsors. I'm not sure if they're actually saying Honey did this.
Quick skimming, I don't see it that way, so I'm going to assume that. Well, we can go on.
Well, no, because there used to be a ton of affiliates that did this, especially in the early days of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, from my memory, are gone because there was one notorious one. I forgot the name of it, but they were like just as bad as this case.
Right.
They disappeared off the face of the earth back in like 2005 or 2006 or something like that. Okay. I think this is going off of memory, so I could be wrong about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I've seen this happen before, and I wouldn't doubt it. I like these anecdotes, like they're so prevalent for a reason.
Yeah. Here's some guy saying, "Honey in a sticky situation. How ironic." And then here's another one. The worst part of this is even when you have Honey, simply clicking OK after they check and fail to find a coupon, they will still be getting money. That's what they're saying here. That's kind of shitty too. That's not good. I'm not done with that. All right. I don't know. I don't think I have much more to say on this unless you get.
No, I just think this is a really interesting case.
Yeah, no, it's something to follow. I'm interested to follow and see what's happening, but just
I'm curious to see if this is going to get class action status. Because each case is so different.
That could be the problem.
Is this going to turn into a mass tort case instead? What do you think?
No. Well, hold on. I would put it this way. I think it could have a mass tort element in the respect that while each of the cases may be individual, people could have similarities in actions, and therefore they would be awarded damages in some kind of like grid, like you do in a mass tort. Okay, if you have these kind of injuries, you're entitled to this kind of. I think because it's so hard. Because
some of these injuries could be literally millions of dollars.
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands versus injuries where they're like $50.
Yeah, the injuries are so individual, though. That's why
I'm curious whether this is actually a state class action. Just because of that, because with class action,
it's gonna be hard.
For the most part, they need to be similar to like a certain extent.
Yeah, the valuation's gonna be the hard part. Everything, I shouldn't say everything else. Most of the other steps will be similar, so you have that.
But the valuation's so vast and different that
that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I can see this case getting really messy. Yeah,
I can see that.
So of course the lawyers smile about that.
No, I mean it doesn't. I mean, listen, it doesn't really help these guys here because this is you're gonna make money on a contingency, so they're not getting, on the plaintiff side, they're not getting paid for their efforts here. So there is notoriety around it.
This is one of those few cases where I get the feeling the plaintiffs will get paid eventually, just because of how big PayPal is.
Yeah, but they may have to bring individual claims. That always gets harder. One of the benefits of class action is you have a whole group of people who are getting attorneys that might not be able to afford or wouldn't have. A lot of these class actions where you have hundreds of thousands of people involved, even if they're small amounts. So you've gotten like, hey, here's your $4.13 from this product here. If you went to an attorney for that, it's I can't help you individually because it's just not going to make sense for anybody. Mm-hmm. But when you group together enough people, it does. But here you've got kind of a mix because, as you're saying, you could have damages in the 6-7 figures and or more even potentially. So that way it could make sense for an individual case as opposed to thinking you have to put them all together. But I don't know. It's something to follow. We'll be following that for sure. All right. Other ones I want to look at here?
Yeah, let's put the next one over.
All right.
And
for Reddit one?
Oh, no, the other one over.
The free... yes.
License plate cameras in downtown.
Thanks to our review journal here.
Yep, in my neighborhood.
Yes, near where you live.
Yep.
So we had talked about this a couple weeks ago, but these traffic light cameras, these are not cameras installed to get people if they're essentially speeding or anything like that. They're not those or running a red light. These cameras are installed strictly as stated to be an aid to law enforcement, to track license plates, allowing to see if people, where their path may have gone along the way, if vehicles are registered, things along those lines. As of right now, according to this, so 22 cameras in 11 locations are live. So there you go. But the good part here is at least they're saying, listen, I know we'll talk about the privacy side of that, but people are saying that these are cameras read license plates and notify law enforcement in real time of stolen and wanted vehicles. And the cameras will improve public safety during New Year's Eve festivities and beyond. So this article is a few days old. But yeah, as I said here, it's not going to be used to enforce any traffic related infractions. So that was one of the big issues in the past with these kind of things.
Well, here's the funny thing. We'll go to the Reddit pages in just a second.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, people are complaining that it's not going far enough. The fact that it's not enforcing anything, really.
Well,
they just see it as a privacy violation now. Because if they were going after people who are like running red lights, or people without license plates, or whatever, actually going after them, I think people would be it seems like people would be a lot more open to it. But because you're not doing that,
really,
people are angry. So like the Reddit post, go check that out.
We'll check
the conversation is really interesting.
So in the past, I don't know that we had it here. I know in Arizona had these cameras. I think we tried here in the ACLU, shut it down.
I think we tried it in very select areas.
Yeah.
Years ago, like when I first came to Vegas, like 12 years ago or something like that. I remember hearing something about that, but I've never actually seen those cameras personally.
Yeah, they had them. There were some issues with privacy out there, and then also being able to prove, if the owner of the vehicle might not have been the driver.
Exactly, and the right to face your accuser.
Yes.
Was an issue. I remember ACLU did a lawsuit about that in California and won.
Right. So let's see the Reddit one now. Okay, so this is about a week old. Some of these.
There's 2 Reddit posts. One is like today, and the other one is a week old.
Which one do you want?
Or you can do both. Just go down the comments are what's interesting on this.
Okay. Here we go. Am I doing this wrong? Or there's only a few.
Oh, that one just has a few because that's the newer one.
Okay, let's share this one.
The older one has a lot.
Okay. What is it like? What is that, like 5 intersections? Solid.
Actually, open these guys up. The little plus mark.
Okay. Here we go.
So somebody deleted their comment, whatever that was.
So first one. So comment saying that so many cars without plates, it's infuriating. Yeah, this is not gonna.
This is not gonna enforce any of that. Though.
Can't mind me that one. They've started stealing plates from those of us that pay for registration rather than purchase the vehicle we can't afford. This is somebody, I don't know how accurate this is. 1 out of 10 cars have no plate.
Yeah, they're just making up figures at that.
Of course. So here's someone then. Some guys, so they said, so instead of dealing with something that matters, steal a vehicle, take the plate off, bam, these are useless then. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you have a stolen vehicle, but you're also driving without a license plate, which would arguably bring more attention to yourself. I'm sure a lot of these commenters here would say there's somebody on the road that it probably blends in, but here we go. That's because stolen cars isn't the real use here. The use case is to monitor the comings and goings of the populace. Well, someone else isn't down with that to shockingly low IQ comments. So,
actually, quick question,
please.
Roughly, just a estimation, anecdotal estimation here. Well, what percentage of our accidents that we deal with had at least one party without a license plate, or not registered, or anything like that? I'm just curious. Because that guy says 1 out of 10. I know that number is completely false. But on an anecdotal basis, how often do you think
out of my experience, how many times our own clients too who aren't at fault?
Yeah.
Or
both. Like that don't have plates or a registration.
1 out of 10. It's not that far off.
It's not that far off.
I would say like 5%, so that's 1 out of 20.
So like 5 to 10%, something like that.
Yeah, they're not crazy.
So that guy's not that far off.
Yeah. It just sounds, yeah.
I'm sure if we did the real numbers, it'd be less than that. But it feels like it.
But then you're taking subsets, of people, maybe the ones that, if you're talking about their driving habits, here's the real thing. You want to talk about the habits, you could probably do some kind of AI program on that to determine the driving habits of those who would fall into that initial class of not having the registration or not having the license plate.
Now, what is the penalty for not having a registration / license plate on your car in Nevada?
Well, it depends. The registration depends on which jurisdiction you're in.
Clark County, Vegas.
Well, what I'm saying, Clark County, city versus county.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Let's just go with county, because city traditionally has been more punitive in that way. Some of them, I know when we used to handle the tickets a long time ago, I know in county, for example, if you didn't have, sometimes you're saying if you don't have it at all, you just show them, you come back and show them that it was active at the time, you just didn't have it on you, they generally would waive it. But even, I feel like, this is a long time ago, 15 plus years ago, that maybe in the county, if you didn't have it, but you got it like right away. Sometimes they would still on the registration. They would still maybe waive it. City, I don't remember them ever doing that. Like if you got it in the city and your registration had lapsed, but you got it, let's say the next day, you show them, they would still enforce the fine. I don't know what it is now, $300 to $500.
No, they just don't enforce it.
No, they enforce it. I mean, well, now you're in a whole other area because now tickets are civil infractions, not criminal.
Yeah.
So it still sucks. I mean, it's not inexpensive. You know, I'd have to double check again, but I know it's several $100 for sure. How about you direct the police? So a lot of these people are just saying there's so many cars missing the plates that this is not really going to have. That seems to be more of it. You've read this, but it seems the ones here, people are like, great, so none of these cars have plates anyway, so you're not helping us.
Yeah, so like the common consensus is that like I'd be okay with a little violation of privacy if laws are being enforced. But you're not telling me that this is not even going to enforce any laws? Yeah. So what's the point?
Yeah, well, because if it's a license plate reader, if you don't have a plate on it, it's not going to give you the information you want or need.
I understand people's frustrations because we do have a lot of traffic issues here in Vegas. A lot of what is perceived, whether truthfully or not, or rightfully or not, of a lack of complete enforcement here in town. I know that a lot of the cops are trying their best, but it just ain't good enough.
Yeah, it's hard. And then, so when you start getting to moving violations with a camera, that's when you're going to have, like you brought up the issue before, being able to face your accuser, being able to prove it was even you driving it. Because even when you have like the radar guns, let's say, right? Even that has some variability in it.
Yep.
And someone has to be able to testify, a law enforcement officer has to be able to testify, if you want to take it that far, testify that they were there that day, or however they document that. So, go ahead.
Oh, I know a guy with a radar gun. Actually, quick anecdote. He actually had or subpoenaed records of when the last time it was serviced, certification dates for the officer to use the radar gun.
Okay.
All that stuff. Turns out he missed one certification. So technically speaking, he wasn't certified to use the gun properly.
Oh wow.
Got the case dismissed on that.
All right, well, good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
He does what he does for a living?
No, what's he do?
Lawyer. Not traffic. He doesn't do personal injury traffic like that, but like.
I might have done. I did something like that in law school, but yeah.
Well, the guy was a patent and liability lawyer. He was friends with my. He worked with my ex-girlfriend that does the same thing.
Okay.
And those guys are just like crazy thorough.
Okay, they got enough time for that. So yeah, I think that's making the sense here is that okay, great, but most of these violating cars don't have plates anyway. So I don't know if you're gonna do anything to it. So a lot of it is around that. If you want to be real effective, stop the people without the plates, and then the system will be effective because the cars that have plates. Okay. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I think that. I'm not hearing as many of the privacy complaints here, although I know that's still out there, but at least in this article or this Reddit stream.
Yeah, the comments on here.
Yeah,
that seems to be the consensus. Is that if it actually did help any of the traffic problems here, people would have a lot less problems.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
A little bit. Any other ones here?
The next one, or the last one, is these two.
Not this.
Or actually, no, that one's interesting. That's let's do that one right afterwards. These are basically the new laws that are going to affect Nevada. So this is from the Reno Gazette. It says 8. The one in Vegas is 6. So maybe some of these affect us and don't, or I'm not sure. But
nice.
It looks like they all affect us.
Reno some credit. Let's see here though. All right, so the 8 laws go into effect, which have been in effect now the 7th, so since January 1st, so almost a week now. So drones are used to check compliance with building or fire codes. Any images are not admissible in judicial cases.
I found that interesting.
Yeah. Well, so I think
how is that it's not admissible in judicial cases? I don't understand that.
Well, what I'd be curious here, this isn't. So wait, let's see. It specifically says if drones are used to check compliance with building or fire codes, any images collected are not admissible. So I guess maybe they don't feel good enough with the drone technology. They wanted to actually physically. I guess that can be that on its own is not enough. So maybe that can give you some kind of probable cause, which then would lead you to do a further investigation.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think they're saying on their own. I don't know why. Maybe they don't trust the drone technology, or they have a question of, you know what it could be? Maybe a question of chain of custody of the pictures. They want to say, okay, if I guess that may be next, which probably would be that hard with a digital footprint. You can
with a digital footprint, would chain of custody like that really even matter?
Yeah, well, I guess maybe they're concerned someone could alter. It's so specific. I mean, dealing with building or fire codes that way. I wonder, that's super specific. So I'm wondering,
way specific.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ones that wasn't mentioned in the Las Vegas news.
So what my question would be is that it says Nevada, so I guess it's statewide.
I guess it's statewide.
Maybe they didn't want to touch it in the review journal. I don't know. Dementia care. That's good. A family member can now be a paid caregiver for elderly or disabled Medicare recipients who have dementia. Special training on appropriate care is required. All right. Well, that's glad to see that second sentence.
Yep. California has had something similar for
we've had
forever.
We've had some clients like that. It's if they're truly providing. I mean, the nice way to look at that is if it's who would be better than your family member. Would you rather them or some stranger? The flip side of that is, would you rather have a family member who you can't really
count on?
Yeah, or you can't. What's your mechanism? Firing him, I guess. But so
it's hard to fire family members.
So I like this. I mean, I see some downsides, but in general, I like that. Yeah. This next one doesn't really affect me. Could have used that a couple of years ago with my kids, right?
Yep. But, no more taxes. Well, actually, adult diapers are covered too, so just wait a couple years.
Adult baby diapers are exempted from sales tax to 2050. So, all right. I mean, overall, that's good. Although, in fairness, I don't know how much revenue the state generated from this particular section because, when tax money is lost in one area, it gets made up somewhere. So it's coming somewhere, just no longer through diapers. You and I talked about this one, the motorcycle fines.
Yes. Now you have, I forget how many months it is.
Yeah, so in the past, right, there was a misdemeanor to drive a motorcycle without a motorcycle license or permit. But now this law allows you to, instead of having to pay a fine, to take a motorcycle safety course instead. That's really similar to our driver's school.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a time limit to how soon you need to take the class, the motorcycle safety course.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's a question though.
Yeah.
Those classes are always filled up months ahead.
Are they the motorcycle ones?
They're filled up like 2, 3, 4, 5 months ahead.
Okay, sure.
If hypothetically, let's say you can't do it within the time limit.
Yeah. So that would be annoying. What you'd have to do is you'd have to show evidence how you've tried to get into any of these classes. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to, I guess, take snapshots, time dated snapshots or printouts or whatever, and showing how you tried to get in. Then you'd have to present it to the court. Get an extension saying I tried to do it within this time frame. There's no class available, and then put it in the court's hands to give you an extension. Say, okay, well, I'm gonna do whatever. So yeah, that's a fair. I mean, now where the court's gonna get a little bit because they're gonna hear from everybody. They're like, all right, hold on, did you really try? Don't just tell me. I want to see proof that you tried. So
okay, well, here's part B to that question.
Huh?
I'm not going to assume you know this because this is kind of like left field question. What happens if you fail the course?
Yeah. Well, you didn't pass it, so you're still in violation of it. So I think don't they have like this, I don't know, a do-over class or
no.
I mean, you
can take it as many times as you want.
Oh, you're saying
but it's
now
going to
you're
cost you $150 each time.
Well, that's true. No, I don't have a problem with that. I guess your question is if you try to do it, but you've fallen outside of
No, let's say you're just a horrible writer and you just can't do the course. Because there's a little obstacle course at the end of it, little road course. Yeah. It's easy. Like I've been able to do that course since I was like 11, but like not everybody's been writing as long as I have, and I've seen people fail that course.
Yeah.
So what happens if you go through all of this, you get the ticket, you intend to make it right, and you fail the course. Now, again, I don't expect you to know the answer to this because we don't know much about this law yet.
I don't know. I mean, I know you'd have to take it over. I mean, it doesn't disappear because you did it and didn't pass.
Now, does it say you have to pass?
Yes, you have to pass.
Hey,
although the way it's written,
technicalities matter around here.
Yeah, the way it's written, it should be better. A new law prohibits employers from paying people with an intellectual or developmental disability less than the state minimum wage.
About time. You know what they used to make, right?
Like $5,
$2 an hour.
What would they be working?
Goodwill.
I thought you were going to say that.
Actually, this was a thing a while back. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but I remember you know what? I don't think it was Goodwill, but there was an organization that would hire mentally, handicapped people, subcontract them out to another company, charge them way more, pocket the difference.
Like an employment service.
Exactly. And but this wasn't in Nevada. This was in some Midwestern state, in the South somewhere. That from my memory. Again, I remember reading this years ago. I don't remember any of the facts of it, but I kind of remember these little details.
People just can't do right. Huh?
Yeah. So, but even at Goodwill, I think they're like $3 an hour or something like that. Right? Like
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Although now I guess the shredding from these programs is going to, one of these companies, places like Opportunity Village, they offer like a shredding program. I guess that price will probably go up too.
Yeah.
But calls from women, like Nevada Constitutional. Oh, that's right, we voted on that.
Yeah.
Language referring to people with disabilities has changed, and language that we removed authorizes slavery and voluntary servitude as possible criminal punishments. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Wasn't there also something added that on the Constitution recently that guarantees a woman's right to reproductive choice or something like that? I remember that.
Yeah, that did pass. But that's not a. I think it was just. Oh, I was asking for a language in the Constitution, right? That's gonna.
Is that what it was? No.
Now, we can do another one on this. I'd have to look because what I don't recall. It sometimes has to pass twice. I don't know if this is one of those ones like that.
I don't think it is.
So if it's constitutional language, I don't see that mentioned here, but you're right. That did definitely pass.
Yeah, it passed like by law. I remember.
Yeah. So
I remember a bunch of people celebrating.
Sure. Some people in the state would not, but a lot of us would. Sure. Okay. Those are not exciting law changes so much. Nothing super sexy there.
What's this about calls from women's prisons?
Oh, I didn't know this one. There was a pilot program at the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center in North Las Vegas. It allowed one free 15-minute phone call a day to a family member from inmates. I guess that's gone.
Yeah.
I guess you either have to get your collect calls or get money on your account at the prison now.
Yeah. Well, do the prisoners pay for the calls, or I thought it was always on the other side?
It's usually collect, but no, I think you can. No. You could put money on
the commissary and then pay for it.
No, I had to do it before for a client. We had to put money on. It's been a little while, but we had to put money on an account. So
interesting. How much are those calls nowadays? Do you know?
I do not.
They're expensive. I know.
Well, that one cheap. I remember that. I was like, whoa, that was a bit much, but yeah.
Yeah, 900 numbers back in the 90s were cheaper.
Yes. Yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't call too many of those. All right. Do we...
And then there's one more article that I want you to take a quick look at. It's the Forbes one. It's the one with the little black...
Yeah. Porn ban. Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, huh?
So this is...
Should have led with this one.
So the little gist about this... you're going to run through this in a second, but the elevator pitch on this is that a bunch of southern states passed laws saying that they need to do ID verification. So a lot of porn sites are now blocking anybody from those states to logging on. So go down the line on the article. It's super interesting.
So I'm gonna scroll ahead and then scroll back up. So Pahrump confirmed it's blocked in 16 states. Nevada's safe. So Pahrump is blocked in almost the U.S. South. So let's see, almost 2 years ago, Louisiana passed a law that started a wave that's since spread across the entire U.S. South. It's changed the way people can access adult content. So they're talking about people can use VPNs to get around this, right?
Yes, but, VPN sales are up like 1,000 or 1,100% or something crazy like that.
So they want you to verify your age before you go to the website. But while safety and compliance are the forefront, giving your ID card every time you want to visit an adult platform is not the most effective solution for protecting our users. And in fact, will put children and privacy at risk. Yeah. Wow, yeah, you're right. VPN surge of 1,150% VPN demand in Florida in the first few hours.
And that's for that one company.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So just to be clear, it's not that these states are banning porn.
No,
they're requiring ID verification.
Right,
which can cause major issues.
Such I've been reading here, but
because the porn sites would be
gathering your information. Is that the
problem? They would have to gather your information,
right?
And if there was a hack, these are your actual IDs. This isn't like somebody is putting their name and email address,
right?
This would be actual photocopies of your ID or photo scans of your IDs, and that puts a lot of liability on them. So it's best to not serve them at all and gather this information.
Or you could do like this company apparently that X Videos is doing. Is one of that we're not requiring any age verification methods to see sexual content. So apparently X Videos is like.
I was under the impression that in the South they now require all porn sites to do.
Right, but I mean, if someone maybe they just haven't gotten slapped on the wrist yet, or no one's come after them, they just said there's, as at least according to this, there's been no. Mm-hmm. They've done nothing on that. So just try and stop
now,
it.
how far can let's say Florida wants to go after X Video for not doing verification.
Sure.
But let's say X Video is located somewhere else. Let's say the Netherlands, just for fun.
No, I got you. But you
do they have any teeth?
I mean, good luck. I mean, part of it is Florida argue, hey, you took the effort you put yourself into the stream of commerce doing business here. Especially if any had been filmed there, that would certainly be. But if they had put themselves in the commerce there, Florida could have the right to try and pursue them. I mean, good luck, but I guess all they could do is really try and block them, which they're doing at this point.
But that's as far as it can go, right?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, on a realistic level.
You see in this thing, this Yoti, Y-O-T-I, uses AI to estimate your age by looking at facial features in an image.
I've heard of that, yeah. I heard it's also very not accurate.
No, I mean, where you could just take a picture from...
Yeah, you can just grab a
magazine,
printout.
Right?
Yeah. Print it out. Hey, I'm Keanu Reeves. Put it right in front of your camera.
Wow. So VPN's excited right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's going to be some really funny commercials going to come out for VPN in the next few
years. My God. They could do crazy funny stuff on that. Here you go. There's little need to be aware you're betraying your location by way of your IP address or the identity of the websites you're visiting. At least not for most users. But with 3 billion monthly visits to Pornhub's website from the U.S., the new restrictions suddenly change everything. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Nice little user map there.
Yeah. Somebody put some work. Well, not a lot, but, something.
Right. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read across the board VPN, so I guess VPN's probably behind they're the lobbying effort to get the porn
Look, question. Hypothetically,
Yeah.
let's say I was in Florida and I wanted to bring a court challenge to this law. What grounds would I be able to challenge this law? Yeah, I know. I can't think of one.
I don't know. I mean, you would...
Because it's verification. It's not necessarily banning anything. It's requiring verification of age.
They're saying, well, you're violating my privacy, and they'd say, well, they don't use they don't use the site. I mean, I guess there's not like a... I mean, you don't have to...
Well, age verification is legal for adult entertainment.
You know? Sure, but I'm also saying, like, if you don't want to, if you don't want to access, like...
No, let's say I do want to access it.
But I'm saying, but it's not like a site... So they're saying the law is preventing it.
But in Pornhub's case, it's Pornhub that is voluntarily getting out of Florida, not the other way around. Right?
Well, because they don't want to do the...
They don't want to deal with Florida.
They don't want to deal with that and then have to deal with their clientele using this ID stuff. So they're probably giving them a wink, hey, maybe VPN. Shit. If I was one of these places, I'd be selling VPN. Why couldn't they? Or just do a partnership on these ones on their site?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. A little bit interesting. So.
Yeah. So those are the articles and
that's it, huh?
The new stuff for the new year.
We'll make it a little more exciting next time.
Yeah. Well, we're just starting out, so
we're starting out. So
if anybody has any questions or anything, leave it in the comments.
Please. We'd love to see any comments. It always helps us moving forward as we try and help bring justice for everybody here. Did you have any taglines, anything fancy to say?
Nothing today. I actually do want to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for your time here. It's Eric Blank here of Eric Blank Injury Attorneys, and we will see you next week.